Right, we're back. Took a while, but yeah. Look, the door is open. You can walk right into Kim's room. Right, first things first, to the roof. Right. Maybe if you don't run, it'll be okay. Well, I've got the skill point now. That's just as it was before. Yeah, I have the feeling this is the end game, so. It's out the room and onto the roof. The thread is tied to the antenna. I don't think I need to carry the gun in my hands. Alright, need to inspect the window.
You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman, only now a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime.
Where does the thread lead?
It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof, B triple prime.
The one place that I couldn't look because I don't know how to get to the island.
The island in the bay.
She's trying to tell us a shot came from the island?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point.
This is also the only point of origin we haven't ruled out yet.
So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
Maybe we need to go to the island? I'm going to the island. Are you in?
Of course, of course. I mean, how do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
A red thread runs
Oops.
through the neon-lit shape.
The click is here. Oh.
Seeing you approach, the bruised man raises his bear in welcome.
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in you. But I guess I've misjudged a lot of people lately. That was one hell of a shot. Hell of a shot. The fucks did not expect that. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, thank you for intervening, fellas. That was mighty brave of you.
This is big. It's as big of a thank you as Titus Hardy can muster under any circumstances.
Now, how can I help you?
I'm sorry about the people you lost.
Dio was old. I think he'd be pretty happy with the way he went. Never could imagine him withering away on a sickbed. But Angus, he was just a stupid kid. Didn't realize the mess he'd gotten into. Trusted me. Still, the balls on that kid. Went down fighting for someone else's shit like a fat, angry bear.
Here it comes. The last one is the worst one. He only deals with it by drinking copious amounts of 8% beer. An honest tactic, and effective.
And Glenn was my friend. Best I've ever had. I love that crazy homo like my own brother. We're all fucked without him. But what do? This job is shit.
They were good people. I'm sorry it went like that.
Well, yeah. Memento mori. Right.
Memento mori, or remember that you must die, is a slogan various religious orders have thrown around since the dawn of mankind to emphasize the vanity of earthly life and the transient nature of all earthly pursuits. In essence, it means one should live virtuously in this life to live better in the afterlife.
Totally.
Absolutely. Today, I'm going to get drunk, eat good food, and bed a good-looking girl. 'Cause tomorrow, a motor carriage might run me over.
Or you might die of a heart failure or syphilis.
Hey, fuck you for ruining a beautiful idea.
Syphilis. What's going to happen to the Hardy Boys now?
I guess I'll take a closer look at our union members. There's bound to be some ambitious fellows there who'd love nothing more than advancing social democracy by busting some heads. Might even ask Tibbs if he's tired of replacing windows and maybe wants to have some fun with his brother. Anyway, don't you worry. As long as Titus Hardy's standing, there will be Hardy Boys.
Do you know what happened to Glacia?
Don't know? Don't care. I'll be glad if I never see that fucking woman again.
Even after all that hell, he's still bitter about her? He nods and takes another sip of whiskey.
So long, fellows. Be good so I don't have to come back here again.
Take care, coppers. You two look after yourselves now. Death passed on you today, but men don't get that lucky twice.
Copo loco. And normal cop, I guess. Good luck in Shamrock. Scars make the best tattoos, they say.
Thanks for getting involved, guys. Not a lot of cops would step into that line of fire, but you did.
And if you ever feel like the uniform is holding you back, I've got a few vacancies. You'd make one Hardy Boy, copper.
And Titus Hardy himself would make a good officer. That man was born to lead.
The RCM could really use a man like you, Titus. Think about it.
I will, capo. That's a promise. Now scoot, 'cause the Hardy Boys got some mourning and drinking to do.
Take it easy on the drink. The danger has not passed. This town needs you on your feet.
Good point, Beano Claude. We'll keep the vol under 12% tonight.
You know what? I'm going to put a stat in composure, because I've got a couple composure checks left over. Ah. It's been a while so I don't remember if anything increases composure. If anything's probably oh, shoot. Yep, just the shoes. Okay.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels.
So there's a lack of magnesium in me?
Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
So I need to maggot sideways?
Maggot sideways? What are you talking about? You need to maggot up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already, and the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form?
Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem. And it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine, nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee. It wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system.
I feel like that's a thought process that should have come way sooner.
Hi again, gendarme.
What is it about the way he carries himself?
Could he be a member of the homosexual underground? Yes, this man is definitely one of the homos. I've seen them homos with my own eyes. This sexual thing seems interesting. Ask around. Become involved. Just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here. You made it up.
Thank you, Encyclopedia, for informing me.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Hmm. What is this?
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Scar. The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
Where's Renee?
The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Gone where? What happened to him?
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent.
Was he killed during the mercenary tribunal?
Oh, he would have liked that. Violent lives ending violently. That's how he wanted to go. Sadly, it was not the case.
How did he die exactly?
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it. No, René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable.
He has doubts, but right now, he just wants to move on and not think about it.
I offer my sincere condolences.
Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is, part of life really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything really. But you must need something.
Just wondering what happened.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
You're not limping. You're you. She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
You seem angry. Why?
Look at you. You can barely walk.
It's not
Doesn't
bad.
look like nothing. Looks like you've got banged up real good. What happened to you anyway? We heard gunshots from the town. They were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You didn't only get shot.
I dodged the second shot. I can also get not shot.
Well, good for you. Of course. Can I help you with something?
We need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
How do you joyride on a boat?
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
What's on that island? The spoken lines? Okay. I think this is large enough for anyone to read this, so.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Is there anything I should know about before getting there? Should know about getting there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Okay, right. Once I get there, I will be heading right along back.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Okay, kids, you've been to that island, right?
On that island,
Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
that's, nothing. It's just a seaford and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
What then?
There are lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
You mentioned something about lights?
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes.
Someone lives on the island?
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Why is he the fire guy?
Because he asks to put the fire out.
Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
Is that all you know? Is there anything more you can tell me about the island?
There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
It's over there, isn't it?
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
It's giving me another opportunity to handle stuff. I guess the island really is the end. There's still plenty of other things that I have the option to do. I can at least try talking with Egghead again. Waste another half an hour of both game time and possibly also real time. The mirror. I can do it again. Oh, there is more than one mirror.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with.
Do I have anything that increases electrochemistry? Close. That's either pants that I have really increase electrochemistry, except for the solitary trousers. No, not that. Become an addict in a strange bathing suit.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression. Still not happening. It won't come off that easy.
I got a 7. I got one less than I needed. Oh well.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Got shot in the hip. I've been meaning to ask you, what's with the hair?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Or is it because you're balding?
Or because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20. Not 20.
Fair enough.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway. Goodbye, officer.
Welcome back.
I'd like to know more about your associates.
Okay.
What's the deal with Egghead?
What do you mean? Oh, that. He's the party boy.
What's a party boy?
A Nordic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offense if you like rock music though. Rock music's cool by me.
Pachoo, pachoo, swish. Your credentials as the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show her you're hip with the times, Gramps.
Anyway, even if you don't have vocals, you still need someone to say something every now and then, right? To urge things on. That's where the party boy comes in. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is. It's very catchy.
I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance, like sneezing makes you sneeze, or yawning makes you... Anyway.
Where's he from? How long has he been with you guys?
Actually, we don't know where he's from, or who he is, really. One time we were out partying somewhere in backwater Forburg. Or maybe even Coal City. I can't remember. Maybe it was Coal City.
The worst of the banlieues. A wretched heap of closed down mines, even west of Jamrock, on the dusty slope of Montmartin. The remotest possible area of Revachol. No one even wants to exploit those people anymore.
Yeesh. Backwater the backwaters.
Egg was yelling along to some jam someone was spinning, all night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines. There were mines? Yeah, it was in Coal City. Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way back. Couldn't even speak. It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the fort. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked why he came with us, or who he was. I think his name is Jermaine. People are sweet.
You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes her to go silent for a moment or two. You wish you'd been there.
Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Noid.
He's a four-burger, I guess, like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg, I don't know about him, but Noid and the rest are from Forburg, making the pilgrimage up north to visit the Elysium. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle.
What does he do?
What do you mean do? Like for a living?
Yes.
He's a carpenter, trained and all. He's very good, he just doesn't have the mindset to work like that, in a shop somewhere.
Is that because of his beliefs? The hardcore and the ribs, the spinal cord and stuff?
Not to sound too dramatic, but I wouldn't make light of his belief system when he's around. Noid's a serious person. He's serious about the lifestyle.
What is this pilgrimage you're talking about?
It's just something poor Forburg kids do every spring. To pass the time, we walk the entire length of Boogie Street, up to Jamrock, or as much as possible.
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know, man. Have you been down Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering.
Let's say I haven't been down Boogie Street.
Okay, then you should go and take a look, I guess. Boogie Street is cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people. Yeah. Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Andre.
Andre? He's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he is. To me, at least. He takes care of shit. Sorry. I mean, he's got a vision. For what life should be, you know? He tries to push things until everything falls into place. He's an organiser. Nothing. But then again, there's nothing to organise around here either. He really wants this church thing to work. Must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. I don't know where he got that from. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched about anything though. And he's often psyched. Looks sort of desperate, like it's his last chance or something. Or maybe he was just high. I mean, not that he does drugs, just high, you know?
On life?
Yes. Anyway. Yes. Who do you want to know about?
What do you think about the crab man?
Oh, the crab man. Still gives me the creeps the way he moves. But he doesn't actually come down that much, just climbs around the rafters. I just try to stay away from the crab man. But he talks to Noid. They seem to have some thing going on.
What for?
Beats me. Noid said they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess.
What does he do up there?
Who knows? He doesn't really answer our questions, see? Not that it's easy to ask them. What are we supposed to do, yell up at the tower? Who do you want to know about? Oh, she's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk much. I'm not really sure how to vibe with her, you know? Seems like she's not in a very good mood most of the time. But earlier today she told me about Welkins? And she seemed oddly happy, like she had some idea with those little creatures. Some artistic idea. I didn't really listen, I was busy with my mic.
Actually, do tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, I forgot. Tell me about yourself.
I'm a silver bird.
Hang on. That phrase. You're suddenly reminded of something.
What does that mean?
It means I don't answer questions about myself. Thank you. Sure.
They're closed. mega, internally coherent. All core, all
He furrows his brow.
hardcore. Ah!
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
How do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place! The first page of the second chapter!
Could it be? Maybe for him. You only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
Why are there lungs on your belt buckle?
Lungs are for love!
Why would lungs be for love?
When Dolores Day was anointed innocence, her lungs started glowing through her body. For the world loved her, and she loved it back. Yeah!
Why wouldn't they be? Are the lungs not the place where you hold the breath of your soul?
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on. Cause I've never loved someone like you before.
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipating into your neck. Feels good. Like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body.
You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with the music?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore. Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto. Like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
It's super hardcore.
Fuck yeah, I knew it.
He seems sure, but you are left with the nagging doubt you might have overestimated the hardcoreness of that jam.
Okay, let's get to what I was actually hoping to do.
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary. What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
3.5.
Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here. Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
Whoa, thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the Arno for just a sec. For a special scheduled event. The Arno will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes. And then I'll turn off the music. Alright! Here comes the night!
Yes, what is it? Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
Maximum! Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
Who does that?
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
I think what Egghead is trying to say is that the volume button is stuck on the maximum.
Of course it is.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready. Ready.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Not so stoically. His hand moves to the gun holster. Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow.
Proceed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls.
What is going on?
In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on? It's getting louder.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking, the worst high he's ever been on.
It was in me at first.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to earth! Love!
Below it, all the bass grows, like the jaws of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and wood. It does not sound benevolent at all. It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists. A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
Yes, I've turned it off. Andre, pull the compressor. The place is gonna come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down. And then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now. Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
Kim, did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I've never heard anything like it, and I've heard a pale latitude compressor.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically, I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
You're going to write Soysla?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Form a theory on the 2mm hole in the world. I'm not going to bother changing clothes for this, unless I need to burn a skill point. Certainly hope not.
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
Wait, how?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind the kitchen table, in the evening light, drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend, and a woman. She was there too. Her hair smelled of shampoo as she was smoking.
Suna, it is the origin point of the Pale.
What?
Swallow. It's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
The Pale is only an effect. A transition between the world and that.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
It's less than nothing. The final mistake for reality. Imagine if all this never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply a gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day, when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world.
This is one of those places.
According to this, how long...
Until it starts swallowing, it's already started. Starting with sound.
And information. Causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data.
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
knows how to think this.
I think I've had this thought before, that's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting, but I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
All the failed businesses in the Doom commercial area. All the failure in Martinez.
Do you think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even, say, software development?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
All the failed businesses and ideologies. There's something wrong here.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
It's better that they don't.
I told them. But no. Normal office buildings are bourgeois.
They didn't form in a church. The church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus. Or a containment facility of some kind. Built by the first settlers.
Yes, acting on an instinctual level. Or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement.
That's a lot of them.
Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
One day all the world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window. Cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Ma'am, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Yeah, that's still insane, but then again, so am I.
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthropomedic detection to perform in this district.
Someone's been walking around your dreams looking for something. Tidying up, rearranging. I'll take this. Storing away all the unrealized dreams, putting old pains in boxes. The worst nightmares have settled down for a while. A spot of light on the bedroom door after the dark. The fluttering of eyelids in the spring sun. A thought that arises, only to disappear again. And yet, there's a pattern emerging. It's going to take 5 hours to internalize. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time in-game to do this. And it does look like if I want to get stuff done up beyond, then it's going to certainly take its time. Going to the island is, it seems to be a final thing. Anything more than that will, yeah. Nope, they're still impossible. Okay. I already broke the skill point. Yeah, I think I'll call it for this one for now. I'll be back soon though, at least I will be, from my perspective. Anyway, see you again next time. Till then, bye.